Hey guys, this is DFFOO Global Dimensions and Transcendence Tier 12 Reckoning, and this run is going to be a Celes solo run. In case you are wondering about the Seymour ticket mission on this stage, I do also have another video covering the ticket mission run with Seymour and Celes duo for the Reckoning, as well as a recording of the left and right gates, and I will put a link to that video in the video description. Ultimately though, I decided to just go with a Celes solo so that if I want to in the future, I can always unlock Seymour and use it for other stages on Dimensions End. Plus, I'm a big fan of Celes solo and it is kind of fun to use her in a solo run. So first off, regarding the setup, in terms of passive, you only want to remove one passive, which is the Shine Edge Lite passive. Keep all other passives equipped. My Celes is also fairly well built with blue high armor. She has a BT plus as well as a 5/5 ultimate weapon equipped. There is a little bit of leeway in that if you're lacking the ultimate weapon, I think you can make do with something like a 1/5 or 2/5 ultimate weapon. You just have to go into 2 force times to end the fight. The call ability is very important here. You do need a defensive call for Celes in order to survive the initial phase when 3 enemies are present later on in the fight. The call of choice that I use is Gladio because its LD call ability guarantees survival since it has 100% HP and brave damage reduction. Alternatively, I think you should be able to make do with a Warrior of Light call, or maybe even an Edge based call as well. Lastly, I think if you don't have any of those options, a Cater based call should work, but it is a little bit RNG with Cater because her evasion is only 90% as opposed to 100%. So coming off to the fight, first off, it's very difficult to win the force gauge charging race with the boss because the boss gets a plus 3% force gauge anytime a turn passes either player or enemy turn, so it charges its force gauge extremely quickly. This stage also has a mechanic where each time the boss enters force time, the force attacks level up. So the first time is really just a brave attack, the second time has a HP dump to it, and the third force attack will actually be an instant game over unless you can do force weakness on this stage. Celes can actually hit force weakness if there's at least 2 bosses in the field, but you don't really have to worry because you can win the fight before they get to their third force time anyway. What you want to do is to go into BT mode right after the boss uses its first force attack so that you get the BT aura up. Right after that, at this point, you should hit 100% force time 1 or 2 turns after your BT mode, so as soon as you can, use your force attack with Celes to go into force time. Entering force time as quickly as possible is quite important because during your force time, you also pause the enemy's force gauge, so this ensures that they never go or they never get to their second force time. Beyond that, going to force time also of course helps you bring the boss to 49% health, which triggers the summon of the 2 additional copies into the field. You want to keep a very close eye on the boss's HP because you do want to ensure that you have a turn with Celes to use your defensive call when the 3 minions come into play, because their scripted first attack is always going to be mono laser, and that always gives them the brave regen buff, which ensures that they regen 75,000 brave per turn and will one-shot Celes without her last stand passive up. When there's only one boss at the start of the fight, it doesn't really matter because Celes will always survive the HP attacks with last stand, and then she can heal herself during her turn. But when there's 3 enemies in the field like so, you want to make sure that first of all, right here, you use her LD to inflict her traps on all enemies. And right here, before all 3 enemies get their turn, so look at the turn order bar very closely, you want to use your defensive call like so. This guarantees that Celes will survive all the attacks coming in her way over the next few turns, And very nicely, the bosses will help you charge Celes's force time to 99% with what few turns remain. Now I was actually planning to save her BT plus for the second force time, because if you use BT plus before summon mode, you will burn her BT aura during summon mode, which isn't ideal. So it really depends on how far along the fight are you. If you feel that you can't comfortably finish the bosses off inside the summon mode because, for example, you lack certain ultimate weapon for Celes, what you want to do instead is hold off on her BT plus until after she comes out of summon mode. This ensures that you at least have a BT aura up for Celes's second force time. In this case though, because the bosses are so low already, I decided to just go BT plus here to do some additional damage to bring them down. Pop summon mode right here at 1 turn of force time remaining, and very nicely you are at 999% force gauge, so the brother summon will do tremendous amounts of damage. And if you are fairly well built like my Celes here, then you should be able to finish them off within summon mode or right after. But even if not, it's not a big deal, because as you see here, as long as you don't use Runic, and I repeat again, do not use Runic inside summon mode, use one of her other attacks, you will very quickly charge the force gauge again, and you will actually exit summon mode very close to 100% force time. So if you need the additional damage, just go into a second force time. One final note, that if you are lacking damage and you do need the second force time, you want to try to focus the damage so that only one boss remains on the second force time, because two bosses present will make it very difficult to survive back-to-back HP attacks. Anyway, that's it for this run. As always, I hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoy the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shiryu fight. Bye!